Testing 1 2. Testing, testing. Hello, testing, testing. Testing 1 2. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Testing 1 2. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can you hear this? Can you hear this? 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. This is a little bit of cedar. It's a rolled cedar stick. Just sort of helps. It's sort of, it's cedar indigenous to the Pacific Northwest where I live. And, yeah, I don't know. I just like bringing in a little bit of local medicine to the space. You haven't seen me in a long time? Yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time either. It's been a bit of a journey, but that's okay. We're all on a journey one way or another. Hi, nice to see you. How is everyone? First day of July. I am still here. Yes. The work continues. So we're officially past the halfway mark of 2024, which means we're almost to 2025. I mean, not to make any of you feel old or anything. Hello. I love story time. Story time is one of my favorite times of the week. It's like, let's just all get together and, read some things. Ideally, it would be like a campfire and we'd all just be, hanging out and swapping some good stories. Oh, I haven't done a heart song in a while. I think, yeah. I mean, it's a powerful tool that I still use with myself on occasion. We'll do spooky stories in the spooky season. Sometimes I have to look back to make sure Pete is still smoking. because every once in a while he goes out. Story time has moved to Mondays, yes. My own personal schedule has changed, so I need to move these to Mondays instead of Tuesdays, unfortunately. Well, we have a few things to get through today. Let's see. If you are part of the Patreon and you have submitted something to for this reading, you're going to need to put it on the July 1st thread. Some of you put it on the thread from last week. You'll need to find the July 1st thread and put it in there, or I might not see it. Just FYI. And it might require, I don't know, I've been told that it may require going back and refreshing the chats to see it, if you can't see it yet. Just FYI. So, and for those of you who are new and perhaps have not met me before, I'm Orcus. It's nice to meet you. We get together every week to read poetry and short stories, and I don't know, hang out for a bit. If you want to submit requests for reading, you can add them to the chat. If I see them and I have space to read them, I will. Or otherwise, I will get to as many of the requests put in through my Patreon as possible. And you can find that through my profile. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to those of you who might be just getting to bed. I know there are at least a few of you. The only problem with time zones is that, there's really not a perfect time for everybody to do a live. They got to figure out that, that quantum projection thing where we all can just, have whatever time we want and join in. Well, the first request is a monologue from Doctor Who, of all things. So it's a monologue. Let's see where this goes. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm the doctor. But beyond that, I just don't know. I literally do not know who I am. It's all untested. Am I funny? Am I sarcastic? Sexy? Right old misery. Life and soul, right-handed, left-handed, a gambler, a fighter, a coward, a traitor, a liar, a nervous wreck. I mean, judging by the evidence, I've certainly got a gob. And how am I going to react when I see this? A great, big, threatening button. A great big threatening button which must not be pressed under any circumstances, am I right? Let me guess. It's some sort of control matrix, Hold on. What's feeding it? And what have we got here? Blood? Yep, definitely blood. Human blood. A positive, with just a dash of iron. But that means blood control. Blood control! Oh, I haven't seen blood control for years. You're controlling all the A positives, which leaves us with a great big stinking problem. Because I really don't know who I am. I don't know when to stop. So if I see a great big threatening button which should never, ever, ever be pressed, I just want to do this. Well, yeah, you could do that. Of course you could, but why? Look at these people, these human beings. Consider their potential. From the day they arrive on the planet, blinking, step into the sun, there is more to be seen than can ever be seen. More to do than... No, hold on. Sorry, that's the Lion King. But the point still stands. Leave them alone. No second chances. I'm that sort of a man. When you go back to the stars and tell others of this planet, when you tell them of its riches, its people, its potential, when you talk of Earth, then make sure you tell them this. It is defended. That was a monologue from Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor. Hello, everybody. It's nice to hang out with all of you. Testing 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2. Just trying to get my levels right. Static, huh? Are you getting static? Okay, good. Good morning, good afternoon. How is everybody? Want to drop in for just a minute? Feels like a beautiful summer day, or perhaps a winter day, depending on what part of the world you're in. But either way, it just feels nice to relax the mind. Sit down for a minute. Just enjoy. Just remember that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, it's good to just let the mind just relax. Just let go of whatever the responsibility of the moment is for just a minute. And just surf the waves of meaning and story. Well, I'm glad you feel like you're, feeling better. It is tea today. It is still, it's my go-to. It's the turmeric tea. Helps my throat. Yeah, everybody just take a deep breath. And let that breath just drop you down into your feet. Remember where you are. Remember your groundedness. Remember your connection to the earth. I mean, the one thing that consistently helps me over and over is just feeling my feet wherever I am. The next request is I don't know who it's by, but let's see. I guess it's a question. What is your favorite music, composer, band, song, or piece from these three categories? Classical, rock, or alternative? I think one of my favorite composers in the classical realm is Rachmaninoff. Rachmaninoff's Concerto Number 3 is it gets me every single time. I'm also a big fan of Chopin. Let's see. As far as rock, I mean, Led Zeppelin, it's kind of obvious, but I feel like, they were a band ahead of their time. They kind of set the bar to a level that is, that's hard to meet. But, yeah, it was just like a confluence of incredible talent. I mean, also more recently, I think I'm a big fan of Radiohead and of course, oh man. I'm not thinking of their name right now. The band that sang Knights of Sidonia. Muse. Yeah, Muse. I feel like Muse is like the spiritual descendant of Radiohead in a funny way. I don't know. I'm sure those comparisons have been made quite a bit. And then alternative, I don't even know what qualifies as alternative, really. Like, could Muse and Radiohead be considered alt rock, alternative rock? Um, yeah, Nine Inch Nails, right up there for me. I mean, Trent Reznor is a musical genius. Right. Okay. So there were a bunch of people that replied directly. I see. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Hold the horses here. All right. I see where a bunch of other requests have come in. Okay. A request by Ellen Bass called Basket of Figs. Bring me your pain, love. Spread it out like fine rugs, silk sashes, warm eggs, cinnamon and cloves in burlap sacks. Show me the detail, the intricate embroidery on the collar, tiny shell buttons, the hem stitched the way you were taught, picking just a thread, almost invisible. Unclasp it like jewels, the gold still hot from your body. Empty your basket of figs. Spill your wine. That hard nugget of pain, I would suck it, cradling it on my tongue like the slick seed of a pomegranate. I would lift it tenderly, as a great animal might carry a small one in the private cave of the mouth. That was Basket of Figs by Ellen Bass. Good evening. It's nice to see everybody. The next request is Sonnet 29 by William Shakespeare. Everybody ready? Okay. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day, arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. Sonnet 29 by Shakespeare. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty well. Had a close call with getting sick like last week, but I think I'm through it. Someone missed the meditation this morning. Was it raining? No, it was not raining. But it is my intention to be live as much as possible for meditation around 6:30 PST. So this request came through the chat. It's called Younger Woman, Older Man by Dorsey Baker. Don't get no woman way younger than you, because you are just biting off more than you can chew. You're just asking for trouble that you don't really need. You don't need no woman way younger than you. Because to satisfy that woman you really can't. You may have money, you may have land, put her in a big house. Still, she will go out and find someone closer to her age and find more comfort there. If you have a younger woman, when you look at her, she will always remind you of that. She is way younger than you. Dorsey Baker. Younger woman, older man. Wouldn't that be fun just to be, a storyteller for hire? I'll fly around the country and come drop in on people's workplaces and just, I'll bring with me a book of Pablo Neruda and Shakespeare sonnets, and I'll just read for an hour. Maybe I'll do it over the loudspeaker or something. Orcus on Call. Ooh, The Alchemist. It's a great book. I should definitely read that one. Here's a request by W.B. Yeats, When You Are Old. When you are old and gray and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read, and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur, a little sadly, how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. When You Are Old by W.B. Yeats. Here's a request from Nikita Gill called Art Lesson. My art teacher once told me the reason why we struggle to find our work beautiful is because we've been looking at it for too long. Our mind only sees the flaws, the mistakes we think we've made. She says, look at your work the way someone else who loves it does. I think this applies to other things too, like when we don't find ourselves beautiful because we've been looking at ourselves for so long, we only see the flaws in our features where we should be seeing beauty. We don't see ourselves as a map of our victories. We don't see ourselves at our most exquisite when we are talking about what we love. Sometimes we just need to change the lens a little. Look at ourselves the way someone who loves us does. I like that. The person you see in the mirror is an expression of the art of your soul. I like that. Well, let's see. Here's a request through the chat, Because of You by Starburst. And it goes like this. I've been in darkness for so long, just waiting for the light. And now that you have come my way, my days don't seem like nights. I'm glad I'm finally overcome my fear of the other side. Thank you for showing me the way by taking me on this ride. I've never really felt this way about a guy before. You've truly touched me deep inside. You've unlocked the door. I know it's nothing serious, but surely it's a start. You've treated me so equally, I feel it in my heart. And even if this does not work, I'm glad I had this chance to see how great you truly are, even just for a glance. We never know what'll come of this. It really just depends. I'm glad we're taking the first step. We're becoming better friends. With you, I never have to guess just how you really feel. You talk to me about the facts and tell me what's the deal. With you, I feel so comfortable, like nothing can go wrong. I get this tingly feeling inside. You sing to me like a song. The fact that you are older really did freak me out, but you treat me like I'm your age now. Now I'm rid of all my doubts. I'm trying to live in the moment by forgetting about the past, and so far it's been working, and it's really been a blast. So hopefully from this day forth I'll know just what to do if I ever come across a guy, another guy, like you. That was Because of You by Starburst. There is an age theme in today's readings, I'm noticing, for sure. Yeah, I've been doing this for a little while now. I started the very first Orcus audios that I did was in December of 2020. Isn't that wild? Like I was just, I was about to leave my job and I was super frustrated with the idea of having to find another tech job that I didn't want to do. So it's just like I want to do something different. Shh, now. Quiet that mind. Here's a request from Nikita Gill. The fire inside you. There's enough fire inside you to put all of hell to shame. But you are pretending to be water for someone who is too afraid to handle the dragons in your belly. Stop crushing the thing that makes you. Embrace the flames. Be whole again for yourself and no one else. The Fire Inside You by Nikita Gill. Any exciting plans for the week ahead? I think excitement in my world entails getting out into the garden and doing a little bit of landscaping, at least for the time being. I'm also going to be painting my house somewhat soon. Oh, I don't know. My house is painted sort of an off greenish gray. I don't even know the name of the color anymore, honestly. It's a very Pacific Northwest color, I should say. Yeah, it's kind of a sagey color. That captures it. I feel like I do have a number of sage plants growing around my house, which I'm very happy with. And one more Nikita Gill poem called Take This as Your Sign. When will you stop being afraid of everything you can be? I've never seen the sky nor the earth wear their flaws like they are apologies. Instead, they defiantly present them as their truth. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. When will you realize that you can still grow forests from the scorched earth of your soul? Remind yourself that the moon, even with her scars, is still the fairest of them all. It's the light she gives to the world that matters in the end, the calm of her heart. When will you understand that those broken parts of you have learned how to sing more elegant songs than the loveliest of songbirds? Everything around you is asking you to set yourself free. Become everything that you do not think you can be. Take This as Your Sign by Nikita Gill. The International Man of Poetry. The International Mystery Man of Poetry. Oh, are they working for each year now? Oh, good. That's good. Well, if I give you a warning, what's the fun in it? Half the fun is catching you by surprise. The audio works really well today. Good. That makes me happy. I've been slowly tweaking the settings to get them back to perfect. You know, I stopped reading Whiskey Journal because there were a few patrons of mine who ended up having unfortunate interactions with him, and so it just became. I felt the need to be protective of my audience with him. I mean, he does great work, but like, you know, his attitude towards women himself. Yeah, I realize I didn't put last week's live on YouTube either, so I will be doing a double post this week of lives. I mean, you know, this work that I am in, there are a lot of creators out there, and I've done a ramble on this on my Patreon. It might be worth doing an updated one, but you know, having integrity, healthy boundaries, all that stuff is super important to be able to do this kind of work successfully. It is not an accident that I've been successfully doing this for, you know, well, on 4 years now. So, you know, people who sort of burst onto the scene and get a huge following and then sort of get drunk on the power of it. Yeah, it's something to be mindful of. I've made showings on other people's lives. I mean, by and large, anybody who is associated with Quinn is a high integrity creator. So that, you know, that I think is a good recommendation in and of itself. Quinn really has shown that they are very intentional about making sure that their audience is protected, that the audience of their creators is protected. They have dropped some of their most popular creators who exhibited bad behavior before very quickly. So, you know, through that, I trust that they're keeping a close eye on things. You can also find my work on Ocleo, and you can find it on Magic Wave. There are now 3 platforms that I'm appearing on, in addition to my Patreon, where you can find pretty much everything I do. Does meditation help with grief? You know, I'm not sure. Do I have a meditation on grief? I feel like I do. If I don't, I should create one. I mean, grief is it's an injury of the heart chakra. And you know, the thing about grief is that it can be deep, and it can take multiple sessions to really work. You know, time is the best thing to allow grief to heal through the heart. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you can find I've done a meditation on grief that you can find on my Patreon. Yeah. I mean, healing grief, you have to let yourself feel it, but you also have to you have to also be patient with it. For those of you who may not be aware, I have created another Patreon that is more specifically geared towards healing audios called Love and Audio. You can find it through my bio. That Patreon is sort of becoming a toolkit for just audios and meditations that help guide you through a whole array of different things that we might be seeking help with. So, yeah, feel free to check it out. I'm being selective about which meditations I move over because there's sort of a thematic difference between the two Patreons. Yeah, I'm working on it. Would I ever consider leading or hosting a retreat? Ooh. I would consider it. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to think about how it would go, what it would be about. Yeah, there are two Patreons. One is Love and Audio, which it does away with most of it doesn't have any of the more spicy stuff in it, but the Orcus Auditory Patreon is pretty much everything, except for a few things that are more specifically the meditation healing portion. A doctor audio, huh? I'll have to add that to the list. What's my favorite sandwich? Well, it depends on my mood, but I'm definitely a fan of a good butter fried toast, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So if you haven't done this yet, I'm gonna blow your minds. Melt a little bit of butter in a pan, like an iron skillet, and put your bread in the skillet and just toast one side of the toast. Just toast one side so it's crispy on one side and soft on the other. And then take it out and butter it and put peanut butter and jelly on the inside, and then put them together so it's soft to hold, and then eat it that way. And just tell me what you think. I mean, you could also do peanut butter and bananas or peanut butter and honey, like whatever the combo is that you like. I mean, I pretty much like any kind of sandwich. I mean, I don't eat a lot of pork these days, but that's a whole different thing. But outside of that, pretty much anything. I do love Asian food. I mean, sushi is one of my favorite dishes. Yeah, pretty much any Asian food is great for me. I used to work at a Thai restaurant uh, years ago, so I ate a lot of Thai in my day. I'm a big fan of salmon and yellowtail. I generally try to avoid tuna just because I don't want to, add more metals to my body. But I mean, happy birthday to all the July birthdays coming up. It's funny, there's a certain threshold where you turn a certain age and then you realize, oh, I guess I'm technically old now, but you don't feel old. You're just old by virtue of what the culture says. And, it's kind of freeing to finally step through that portal because you don't really give a shit anymore. Ooh, that's a good idea. I should do a few audios that are like workout encouragement audios. You can do this. Get going. Get it done. Oh, yeah. Or I make it into some kind of like werewolf chasing you audio. Let's see, a marathon audio would need to be at least like 4 hours long, wouldn't it? Yeah. More music. Let's see. Anybody got any requests for a new thing to read? Oh, yeah. We could do some dad jokes. TikTok implemented an hour verification thing where after an hour it pops up this thing where I have to move the puzzle piece into the place. I suppose they're doing that so that people don't fall asleep on lives and just let it run. What do you call a pony with a sore throat? A little horse. Why do you never find elephants when they hide in the forest? Because they're so good at it. What do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire? Frostbite. I got a new request under the request chat. I don't know who it's by, but it goes like this. I imagine our feet brushing against each other under the sheets in the early morning. I imagine sighing your name against your shoulder. I imagine slipping my fingers under your shirt to remind me of how lucky I got to be the one touching your skin. I was just reflecting on Devil Wears Prada. I feel like Devil Wears Prada is like, I don't know. It's like a cultural guidepost of a story. It's like the perfect commentary on what fame and fortune is really like in that way, and what people have to do to make it in that world. And it doesn't just apply to fashion. It's like in everything. So Miranda Priestley. I guess I'll do some Miranda Priestley. This stuff. Oh, okay, I see. You think this has nothing to do with you. You go to your closet and you select, I don't know, that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world that you take yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back. But what you don't know is that that sweater is not just blue, it's not turquoise, it's not lapis, it's actually cerulean. You're also blithely unaware of the fact that in 2002, Oscar de la Renta did a collection of cerulean gowns, and I think it was Yves Saint Laurent, wasn't it, who showed cerulean military jackets. I think we need a jacket here. And then cerulean quickly showed up in the collections of 8 different designers. Then it filtered down through the department stores and then trickled on down into some tragic casual corner where you, no doubt, fished it out of some clearance bin. However, that blue represents millions of dollars of countless jobs, and it's sort of comical how you think that you've made a choice that exempts you from the fashion industry when, in fact, you're wearing a sweater that was selected for you by the people in this room from a pile of stuff. You realize at some point people are going to be able to use AI to do like gender swapping in any movie. Like it'd be really fascinating to see old movies like just like have gender swapped, like to watch a movie with everything gender swapped. You know, I honestly don't think AI is anything to be scared of. AI presents a lot of mystery. It's it captures a lot more of sort of what we don't know. We don't know, but um, I think it ultimately will benefit us in some profound ways, and we don't really know what that's going to look like. How about the lyrics from Moon Age Daydream? Somebody requested by David Bowie. I'm an alligator. I'm a mama papa coming for you. I'm a space invader. I'll be rock and rollin' bitch for you. Keep your mouth shut. You're squawking like a pink monkey bird, and I'm busting up my brains for the words. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to mine, love. Freak out in Moon Age Daydream. Oh, yeah. Don't fake it, baby. Lay the real thing on me. The Church of Man, love, is such a holy place to be. Make me, baby. Make me know you really care. Make me jump into the air. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to mine, love. Freak out in a Moon Age Daydream. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was fun. Look for more from me this week. We'll be, playing around with a few things. So, sending you love. And I'll be talking to you soon. All right? All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll be putting the recordings of these lives up on YouTube. All right. Ciao.